Hello, it's Crispy Chris 62, your gaming gentleman, member of the official We Game Here and association with Extreme Xbox Gamers. Now in this video we're doing things a little different from what I would normally do, as you may have noticed from the new intro and funny overlay here that I did myself. It's quite funny. But the fact is, I just really wanted to focus on the actual games, the fantastic lineup we've got this holiday. We've got Halo 5 Guardians, Forza 6, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Star Wars Battlefront, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Rainbow Six Siege, we've got Mad Max, we've got a Metal Gear Solid, we've got Just Cause 3, we've got, and of course, Fallout 4, and many other games that I didn't mention. And I think it's a little disappointing because what I see from YouTube and Facebook, we seem to be putting more of our attention into console war posts rather than actually focusing on the games itself. We're all gamers and sometimes we can play the same games, and it's a little disappointing when you see just constant console war posts. And you know, I think it's what we sort of lost talking about games. And I think that's a little disappointing, and I've noticed that, and I think many other people have noticed that as well. So this is the new change. So what better way to start a new change with one of my favourite franchises of all time, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So when Assassin's Creed Syndicate was first announced, I was very surprised, and I know you guys were surprised as well. Now the reason being, we didn't expect an Assassin's Creed title to be this holiday, because normally there is a 3-year cycle between each Assassin's Creed, and it was very surprising to see this. And once more, they actually, when they first showed in the trailer, they went straight with the gameplay and not a CGI trailer, what we normally get. So it was very interesting and very different from what Assassin's Creed does normally do. So it looks like Assassin's Creed is going to be a yearly franchise, but some may say this is a bad thing, but in theory, they're actually having a 3-year cycle because it's actually different studios taking on Assassin's Creed, just as much as Call of Duty is. Call of Duty, some may say it's the same developers, but it really isn't. There's a 3-year cycle between each one. And I think Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, they both share the same thing with a 3-year cycle, but in turn it's actually different, because what Assassin's Creed does so well is how time periods actually affect Assassin's Creed. How each Assassin's Creed is actually a refinement of each other. And in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they have done so many betas and alphas in Assassin's Creed Syndicate to make sure this is the best Assassin's Creed at launch. And they've made so many different changes, so many subtle changes, and one change in particular that has gone completely unnoticed, but for any Assassin's Creed fan, especially for me, I'm very excited about. But so, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is of course set in Victorian London, and we've been wanting a game set in this time period for a long time, and as you know, it is set in my home country, so that just makes it even more personal and even more very exciting. So I've been very excited for this game, and the story looks to be shaping up really nicely as well. So we've got 2 protagonists this time, a twin protagonist. We've got Jacob Fry and the new Evie Fry gameplay here. Now this gameplay is of course courtesy of Assassin's Creed. Hopefully they don't flag this down, because I just really wanted to show you here something. Now, something that has caught my attention is, for the first time ever in I don't know how many iterations of Assassin's Creed, so many, we're actually going to get a dedicated stealth button. That's right, you heard it first. In the bottom right hand corner here, which you can see, we're actually going to get a button called the sneak button, which you can simply press and you're simply in stealth mode, and you can hide, you can sneak, you can throw knives and stealth takedowns, and then you simply get out there by pressing that button again, standing up, and then, you know, hand-to-hand combat. And I think this is going to be really nice. Now, as you know, in Assassin's Creed Unity, you had to hold down the left trigger if you wanted to stealth, and that really did not work. I mean, you were literally, you know, sneaking past barrels of hay and whatnot, and then you were trying to be and even if your finger slipped, you would stand up and then all the guards will be on you, and it's like, really? But it's so surprising that it's taken so many iterations of Assassin's Creed to actually get a stealth button. Now, I had a theory, and I think it is probably true, that Assassin's Creed the stealth has always been hiding in plain sight, and also on the roofs. Buildings have been very important for Assassin's Creed and the climbing mechanics, and in the reconnaissance periods, you know, Ezio, Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, no one really bothered with the roofs. I mean, no one thinks twice when you go up a roof in the reconnaissance period. But now, if you climbed up a roof in London or whatnot, they would go mad. They'll probably call the police and think you're committing suicide or something. So it makes sense, you know, to have more ground orientated and more ground stealth, because in the early Assassin's Creed, it was all about using stealth on the roof, all about surveying your circumstances, and I think that's changed. The later you go on, the more and more, you know, it takes place on the ground. So I think that's very interesting and something that's unique to me. Now, in this gameplay, we get introduced to the black box missions. Now, in Assassin's Creed Unity, they introduced them, and I think it was one of the best things about Assassin's Creed is that these black box missions, which in turn allows more freedom. You can choose however you like to play. Whether you like to, you know, simply go in hand-to-hand combat straight in and kill the target, or you want to do a stealth assassination, or you want to be something different. In this case, you can pretend to be kidnapped in order to get close to the Templar and then assassinate her. I think it's her. So I think it's very nice that these black box missions are making a return, and much welcomed return, because in Assassin's Creed, especially Black Flag, even if you did the slightest thing wrong, it would just desynchronize, and it was so painful, it was so frustrating. And thank God that someone invented the idea of, you know, actually we have to give player more freedom. And I think it's really nice, and we're seeing even more. In Assassin's Creed Unity, it seemed to be only certain missions that were black box, and not every mission. In Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I think one of the developers mentioned that they're trying to make it all missions, even the side missions, to be black box. So the freedom of choice is going to be more so than in any other Assassin's Creed. Now, I think this is going to be really nice. Now, there's, like I mentioned, there's two assassins. We've got Evie Fry here, and they're actually different from each other. Evie Fry is more stealth. She likes to climb buildings and survey her scene, and she has a new mechanic which Assassin's Creed fans like myself are not that excited about. She can actually go invisible if she stands still at certain periods of time, which I did not like, I have to admit, but it's only a slight change, and the developers of Assassin's Creed actually mentioned that this is a feature that you can turn off and off, or it's a skill tree or something, so you don't actually have to have this new feature if you don't want it, so that's pretty good. But anyway, like in Assassin's Creed Unity, it was so great, and then they added that feature where you could simply just turn into one of the guards, and that completely didn't make any sense. I absolutely didn't agree with that. I mean, it takes out the the challenge. It's all about the stealth and making sure you get, but you know, going invisible or changing into another guard completely takes it out. So hopefully they might change that, or make it even less, make it so that it's not always there. But anyway, as like Evie Fry is more stealth, and Jacob Fry is hand-to-hand combat, which is really great, and one of the features that when I saw got me very excited, because in most Assassin's Creed, it's sort of, you know, I'll kill that guy and I'll kill that guy and I'll kill that guy, and it's a completely one button and the entire, you know, all the Templars and they're all dead. But in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it's actual proper combat. It actually takes you a while to get these guards down. In Assassin's Creed, I always play on, you know, a harder difficulty, because I think it's just way too easy, and I think, you know, the challenge has to be more and more. You are an assassin then, but the challenge is still there, and I'm very, very excited about this game. Now, let's talk a little about the historical context. They are trying to make this game pretty much a one-to-one scale of London. Now, I've actually been to the Tower of London on I think it was a college trip, and I really did, you know, it's actually so similar to this game. If I think it might be a 1-to-1 scale, and even inside Tower of London, they're trying to redo it to how it would have looked like in Victorian London. So it's really nice to see that. They're also doing a lot of things. That's what I really like about Assassin's Creed, is that they try and make it like the time period as much as possible. And I think that's really great, and something that makes Assassin's Creed unique to me. Now, some may say, why are you interested in Assassin's Creed? And my answer to that is simply because it teaches you more about history than if you were at a university lecture, because it's the fun way of learning. I think you learn more if you're actually playing a game than if you were just like listening to a historic lecture or whatever. But I'm very excited, and I just cannot wait. So thanks very much for joining me to express my excitement for the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. So without further ado, it's Crispy Chris 62, your gaming gentleman, signing out.